Hey, let me ask you something. What does Alice in Wonderland and the Super Mario Bros. Movie have in common? Okay, it's actually quite a few things, but the one I'm specifically talking about is the idea to have a story being an Isekai. Now, if you don't know what Isekai means, Oxford Dictionary defines it as a genre of science or fantasy fiction featuring a protagonist who is transported to a different, strange, or unfamiliar world. Some famous examples include The Wizard of Oz, Peter Pan, The Neverending Story, Chronicles of Narnia, Avatar, and a ton of anime like Spirited Away, which is appropriate given that the word Isekai originated in Japan, and literally translates to another world. Oh, and of course there's also Alice in Wonderland, as I mentioned earlier, which is all too fitting given that it almost certainly helped inspire the entire Mario series in the first place. Hence the entire idea of eating mushrooms to power up and get big. And this is the absolutely perfect genre for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Because even though this movie is confident in what it is and not at all ashamed of its video game origins, that doesn't mean it's the best idea to throw the viewer right into the middle of it with no explanation. Like, imagine if the Avatar series had actually started with a second one instead, where the characters are already in that new world. Without a proper introduction to the world, it can be confusing, overwhelming, and create a disconnect between us and the characters. But by having Mario and Luigi start off in the real world, it helps ground us in the familiar with characters and problems that we can relate to before things go off the wall. But beyond that, it allows us as viewers to embark on the adventure with Mario and Luigi together, and seeing this world for the first time through their eyes. Which makes Mario's reaction to all the weird stuff happening here ours too.
Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die!
And seeing him react to the seemingly nonsensical elements of the Mushroom Kingdom isn't just funny, but it helps ease us into this world as well, allowing us to better accept these strange elements by pointing out the seemingly absurdity of the new status quo.
Oh, okay, so these bricks are just floating here?
Which is especially important for anyone who hasn't played the games and has no idea what's going on here. Okay, quick aside, as one who grew up with Mario in the 80s and 90s, it was just nice to see the origin story that I remembered as a kid from the books and cartoons at the time, finally being recognized as Mario's origin in an official capacity. Especially since this game messed it all up. Yeah, I went there and I'm not taking it back. Also, in a metatextual sense, an isekai is a perfect fit for a movie based on a video game, with how they effectively transport us to all kinds of fantastical virtual worlds. Fitting, right? But it's also a fairly essential component to the entire story, including in some surprisingly clever ways you might have overlooked. As a quick example, consider how Princess Peach instantly forms a bond with Mario by virtue of him being the only other human she's ever seen.
He's a human! I mean, you are a human, right?
Which adds a context to the relationship that the games have never really cared to explore. Because in hindsight, it was a little weird that they were essentially the only humans in the Mushroom Kingdom. And it helps explain why she's more willing to help out this random weirdo who just snuck into her castle, rather than, say, having him arrested on the spot. Even Bowser uses the human connection to infer a relationship between Luigi and Mario.
There's a human traveling with my fiancée. Has a mustache, just like you.
So the Mario movie cleverly threads an isekai framework into the rest of the story that was already happening in the Mushroom Kingdom before Mario even got there. And it's for all these reasons, as well as more to come, that making the Mario movie an isekai was so freaking smart. And we'll be exploring that even more in the next part of our ongoing Mario movie analysis series. Speaking of which, if you missed part 1, you can find it on the screen right now, so just give it a click to give it a watch. Otherwise, make sure to click the subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss part 3, in which we'll be exploring whether the Mario movie truly has no story or if that's all a bunch of baloney.